He's crossed the wrong man. Chuck Norris is back.
Always the hard one. Hang on.
Hello everybody, welcome to another 90s movie commentary. Not 80s, 90s this time. It's 1990, fresh into the brand new decade. We're taking a look at Delta Force 2, and I've got a couple of Golden Grahams joining me today. It's Eric the Man Graham from the Isle of Man. How are you, Eric?
Good evening, thank you. I'm doing wonderful.
And a guy who probably gets the Golden Graham joke a little bit better. It's the ace, Cowboy Bob Graham. How's it going, Bob?
I can't complain, man. Doing stuff, saying things. I got the mode of the toad. I got the habit of the rabbit. We can grapple in a chasel. I messed that one up. It happens sometimes. This Sunday afternoon, I'm slipping on a banana peel, man, all the way live on the edge of a lightning bolt.
Right on, Daddy. Right on, brother. How many grams were there? Were there 4?
Oh, jeez.
Superstar,
to you guys for that one.
Doctor, Jerry, Eddie. Crazy Luke.
4 work crazy.
That we know of. Who knows how many there were?
Because other people would pretend. When you have a family where it's a gimmick family from the beginning, it just gets.
Yeah. Well, and then there's Eric the Man. There's the Ace Bob, and there's Dr. Matty, and there's a whole bunch of them. All right, we're watching Delta Force 2 today. We picked another free one for you on Tubi. Check out the video description there. And you can watch for free on Tubi. If some commercials pop up for you there on Tubi, it's no sweat. Just pause the commentary here and wait till those commercials are done and then resume the commentary here. And just a reminder that this is an R-rated movie and it's pretty well deserved for a whole bunch of shooting and violence and blood. So if you're a kid, do not watch this movie. You can listen to the commentary. It's family-rated commentary, but the movie itself on Tubi is R-rated. Don't watch it if you're a kid, and if you're a parent, don't watch it along with your kid. It's a little intense for kids, so wait till they're a little bit older for them to watch this. So we're all loaded up. Delta Force 2. Everybody ready? Here's your countdown. 3, 2, 1, play. When I say play, you're pressing the play button on Tubi or your DVD or your VHS. Everybody ready? 3, 2, 1, play.
Well, MGM, wow.
Yeah, the previous one was Canon, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Rio de Janeiro. And I believe this one was straight to video. I don't recall this hitting the theaters.
Right away, I'm not overwhelmed by the cinematic quality of what I'm seeing. This is not, I don't know if it's just the transfer, but
no, it's a cheap 90s movie.
Yeah, this looks yeah.
Yeah, this was let's be honest here. It's a step down from the first one. Not that the first one was Spielberg or Kubrick or anything like that, but it is still an awesome movie for what it is.
Yeah.
It's one of the best movies in its genre. And this was 4 years later. First one was 86. This is 1990. A huge missing piece of this is Lee Marvin, who had passed away in 87. So it just, right off the bat, feels like the commander of the Delta Force, the hawk of the unit is gone. And so Chuck has been promoted to the leader of the team. But, Chuck has a lot of great movies where Chuck is is the main act, and Delta Force was the one to me that felt like they actually had a guy in it that could hang with Chuck Norris, not physically, but in terms of his presence and his charisma. Lee Marvin does not get swallowed up by Chuck Norris in that movie. Like Chuck doesn't really steal Lee's thunder. They're side by side in that one. So really miss not having Lee in this one. But hoping for some good karate action and G.I. Joe style action, because we've never really had a great G.I. Joe movie. And so a lot of Joe fans are always out there searching for a good substitute Joe movie.
The dude in the mask, he looks really familiar. The obviously before he put the mask on, he looked really familiar. I think he was one of those kind of actors. I gotta look and see who that is, because he's one of those kind of actors that popped up in like everything in the 80s. It was like if there was a drug dealer or something on TV, he was it.
Yeah. Guess I should start with the Chuck Norris jokes. Jack was nimble, Jack was quick, but Jack still couldn't dodge Norris's roundhouse kick. The 90s movies have a definite look and feel to them, to me.
Oh, yeah.
Even
it's a shame this doesn't capture that.
Like even Last Crusade, to me, while still a great original trilogy Indiana Jones movie, the Last Crusade of the three, it's the one that kind of feels 90s to me. Like it still looks good, but it just kind of has that 90s, let's do this quicker and cheaper type of feel to it.
See that? Like this definitely looks like a studio and not some location. And watch, I'm wrong, it'll be some location, but see that as it may.
I mean, look at this. It's a cast of 10s. It's incredible.
I think the audience was in the same. They sold tens of tickets, probably.
The audience is wondering that too. Oh dear.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
the spooks are getting it.
Disclaimer for fans of the channel: this is not a family-friendly movie. I think it's a hard R.
Huh.
Sean Connery. Looks a little like Ramirez from Highlander. Sometimes when I get bored of a movie or the quality just isn't there, I like to recast the actors or call them, like that guy was Sean Connery. It makes the movie actually a lot more interesting. Antonio Banderas, right?
Yeah. This guy, I'm trying to figure out who this is. He's been in all sorts of things in the 80s.
He's got a real evil look to him.
Yeah.
There's Dick Van Dyke here.
Hey.
Holy smokes.
Oh, wow. That's some carnage.
Is that a shot from The Thing? Holy smokes.
Wow, he really took him out.
Yeah.
It's like an Abdullah the Butcher match there, Bob.
Yeah, they're not gonna make Delta Force 3. Not these kids.
Billy Drago, that guy that's on the monitor right now.
The name rings a bell.
Yeah, he was in everything. He was in
a lot of straight-to-video stuff, right?
He was in the where I recognize him from. He was in the Untouchables. He was the hitman guy in Untouchables. Uh-oh, there's Chuck. See, I would dare to say that the original Delta Force has a much stronger beginning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're asking for it now.
Oh, what are you doing, dude? Easy on the PDAs. Oh, come on. You don't need to do that to the guy.
Oh, here we go.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, you are, Chuck. Yeah, you are.
Chuck, we paid $5 to see this in 1990. You're going to fight.
That's the Judas effect right there, Bob.
Yeah.
Making more of a mess.
I hate when they do wrestling moves in movies.
me too. But that's okay. I'm not seeing them on that show. No, but
Is he crying?
Oh Lord!
It's just always funny that these things are heroic and great and fantastic, but they do make a bigger, more expensive mess for the restaurant.
Yeah. It's like, thanks, sorta, kinda.
Yeah, that's why we're
Can
watching.
you just pay our bill and leave, please?
Yeah.
That's why we're watching Delta Force 2, folks. Chuck Norris annihilating people and then happily enjoying his meal.
I've never seen Delta Force 1. I assume it's some sort of super military group that stops bad guys of some sort.
Yeah, partially influenced by real events. A plane that was taken over by terrorists. They get sent in to save the hostages.
Well,
it's a different type of action movie.
It's definitely in my top 10, maybe top 15 80s action movies. Yeah, that's way up there for me.
The music in it is it always surprises me how good the music is. The heroic 80s theme to it. I was just watching Beverly Hills Cop the other night, and that's another great, theme that everyone's heard. A lot of people don't realize. No, that's the theme to a movie. Same with the Fletch theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Delta Force theme is a classic. I hope it appears in this movie.
Was it who wrote that? Was it Alan Silvestri that did that score? I'm trying to find it.
When Chuck Norris lifts weights, the weights get in shape.
Yeah, it was Alan Silvestri that did the music for the first one.
Okay.
She needed to make sure I wasn't wrong.
I wonder if he's back for this one.
I don't think so. I think he died. Oh, no, not before this.
No, I think Chuck is literally the only thing that's back for this one.
Yeah. They didn't even bring a competent director for this one.
That reminds me of Karate Kid 2 when the mom didn't return. Or Allie, Elizabeth Shue, whatever. They just kind of went, hey, they're fine. Everything's cool. Anyway, take this kid to Japan quickly so we don't have to address this.
Yeah.
We talk and complain about how it used to be better, but in some respects there are vast improvements today. And one of the things that I really love about this era of movie making, there's a lot about movies these days I don't like, but I love how certain castings are really respected to the point of even being sacred. Like they wouldn't dare recast anyone again in Star Wars. They just go to the effort of deep faking people now. Or the Karate Kid show, Cobra Kai. If you were in a Karate Kid movie, then you are royalty. Like they don't treat you just as thug number 2 in Cobra Kai. Like you're royalty. They treat you like you were a huge deal for being in the first Karate Kid or the second or even the third one. Look at Terry Silver is like, we got Terry Silver. What a huge deal. So back then, though, they didn't care. They're like, yeah, we can do Delta Force 2 without anybody except Chuck. And then they went and made the third one without Chuck. They had his son, but, back then they didn't care. They thought the name on the marquee was what was more important.
Did the Peter Sellers guy do all the RoboCops?
Peter Weller? Peter Sellers, that would have been something. Peter Sellers as RoboCop.
Pink Panther and the Revenge of the Robo.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Let me see how badly I messed up. I'm Googling how badly I messed this up. Oh, pretty badly. Yeah, there you go.
So completely off topic.
He did none of them.
One of the best.
Please take us off the topic of this movie.
Yeah, one of the best little-known Peter Sellers movie, The Party, is absolutely fantastic. And it's a movie that's basically buried because it contains a absolutely horrible racial stereotype on camera, like along the lines of like Mickey Rooney and Breakfast at Tiffany. But yeah, The Party is absolutely hysterical.
Despite that, you want me to put that on instead of this?
Yeah, clearly I'm concentrating here. This guy, this general, he is in all sorts of stuff.
Has Chuck been promoted here? Did they gave the rank there? I didn't quite hear it.
Okay, we can stop shaking hands now.
Major. Oh, it's still Major. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably didn't want the promotion like Duke.
Yeah.
Wants to be out in the field.
It'll take him out of the action.
I mean, it's one of those movies where Chuck's great. You know, it's like a lot of Van Damme movies, or I'm trying to think of other guys who are great despite the movie they're in. Can
we acknowledge the fact that they clearly splurged on set decoration here?
Yeah.
It's like, looks like they rented out an empty office building. Oh, that's funny. Can we get any pictures on the wall? No, I'm sorry, that's out of budget.
No. We can put blinds. There's blinds there. We can use them. We can use the blinds that are there.
No, we wanted to capture the feel of a college apartment.
You see a couple milk crates in the background with some LPs in them.
Right. A beanbag chair and some video games.
Wow, the blocking in this isn't amazing.
Yeah, they shot this fast.
Yeah.
They did that a lot back then. They just, if a movie was a hit, let's crank out a sequel. People go see it. I've been trying to get people to appreciate old Chuck Norris movies, especially the younger viewers who might not be familiar with them, and just the Chuck Norris facts. So, you know, the Delta Force commentary and the Lone Wolf McQuaid commentary. I may have picked wrong this time. I may have undone all the goodwill I've tried to build up here. But having said that, Invasion USA commentary coming soon. It's coming free to Tubi on October the 1st. So
Invasion USA too. That's a classic. That's Chuck and his Mac 11s.
Yeah. So this is just kind of a placeholder until we can get to that one.
Yeah.
A lot of other great Chuck Norris movies on Tubi. They got Missing in Action 2 and 3. They don't have part 1 for some reason, but that's okay because part 2 is the beginning. It's a prequel.
That's right. Yeah, Missing in Action 2, the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was so confusing to me when I was a kid, watching Missing in Action 2, the beginning, and like, well, why didn't you just start with that one?
So I got to tell you, I was confused. I didn't know there was a Delta Force 2, so I thought we were just watching Delta Force. I think I didn't read your message thoroughly enough, and so I didn't see Delta Force on Tubi, but I found regular Delta Force on Max.
They don't have it. They don't have the great. Well, they got Lone Wolf McQuaid on there, which is a great movie, but yeah, for some reason they don't have different rights, I guess, because Canon was a different company. Someone else owns it.
Did you notice that it's ATW Airlines again?
Oh, is it? From the first movie.
It was from the first one.
Yeah, Bob, I think you're okay. There's really not a ton of character development for Major McCoy in the. Actually, there's no character development for Major McCoy.
Yeah, I don't know. There was some pretty nuanced punching and kicking, Mike. That was some good development.
You think he grew as a character from beginning to end of the movie? Like, there's just so many things that they're not doing in this movie that they would totally do today if they were doing a sequel to a big hit movie. Like, there'd be the moment where McCoy mourns Lee Marvin's character because they were brothers. And in this movie, I don't think they even mention Marvin's character. I think Chuck's hits had been slowing down by this point too.
Mm-hmm.
He was on a roll in the late 70s and early to mid 80s.
Yeah, I think Chuck's heyday was the early 80s for sure. I love that he had his kind of renaissance though, and even with the genesis of the Chuck Norris jokes, it was all after the Walker Texas Ranger days. I think that was kind of his return in the late 90s and all that stuff. Yeah. But oh man, talk about a show where there's some great out of context clips. Walker Texas Ranger just takes that cake.
Conan O'Brien used to have fun with those. It was just a random. I forget what the name of the segment was, but some kind of random to Texas Walker, yada yada yada.
Who's this child? Whose kid looked like he was 12. He's not old enough to watch the movie, but he can be in it.
Yeah.
Can I jump out of this plane?
That's not a parachute on Chuck. That's just his knapsack with his lunch. he just sticks to the landing. He lands on his feet.
Oh, I can't wait to see what Chuck does here.
He is just whoa.
Wow.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, that made up for it. Oh, don't get him. Don't you dare save him. And it should be too late anyway.
Chuck can break the sound barrier, though. And then fix it.
Was that the stream for me, or did that clearly look nothing like Chuck Norris when he went by?
That happened all the time on Fall Guy too, with Lee Majors.
He's gonna get him.
What actually happened there was that the stuntman was sick that day, so Chuck wore a mask that looked like the stuntman's face, so that he wouldn't lose a payday. But it's Chuck.
Sense.
I think a lot of those Chuck Norris facts are exaggerated. The cash should be out of it by now.
It's like it's never ending. It's like a magical briefcase of cash. It's like it's tapped into a black hole or something.
Great shot! like screaming. Oh, there you go. That's
Make a wish.
Wow. I mean, for anybody that isn't actually watching this and listening to this commentary, you are missing some unbridled quality of film.
How long have they been falling for?
Yeah.
That's like a movie thing. That's just one of those, like, okay, we'll do this for a bit.
Of course he doesn't slip out of Chuck's grip.
I love the unappreciated. Well, golly, what a jerk!
You got a lot of explaining to do there, Coy. I think he's supposed to be the Lee Marvin of this movie. Probably just. They wrote the character for Lee Marvin and they just plugged some other guy in when Lee passed away. I read that Lee Marvin was he was already in poor health when they were doing the first movie, so it was very unlikely he was going to be able to be in the second one. But you wouldn't know it. He doesn't look like a sickly, dying man in Delta Force 1. He still had the power in his voice. $10 million. It's nothing to him.
So I wonder if there's actually going to be a Delta Force in this Delta Force movie, or is it just Chuck and his buddy here? And I haven't seen this movie, so this is not any sort of intentional spoilers to anybody that's listening. But I think his friend has a target written all over him.
Yeah.
I don't think that dude's going to live.
Now that's showing contempt.
Mm-hmm. Love that little line.
You just smack that.
It's gonna hold you in contempt of court. I've got nothing but contempt for this court.
He just hit the bailiff.
Yeah, I haven't seen this in ages, so I don't remember anything about it. I'm hoping we get a real Delta Force in here. Although, who can really argue with Chuck being his own one-man Delta Force?
Chuck is Delta Force. Period. Oh.
Yeah, I got his look.
They could have called the movie Chuck Norris is Delta Force 2, as in like TOO.
Yeah.
Chuck is Delta Force 2.
The cheerleaders still exist.
Looks like this looks like Teen Wolf.
So. Yeah.
Is this a scene from Teen Wolf? An outtake?
I hope so. That would be pretty cool.
Now that's the crossover everyone wants. Teen Wolf Delta Force crossover.
I'd love that. He's got to do something.
Work on many levels. I don't know. We'll see if there's a guy with his pants unbuttoned in the background. You guys know that one, right? That's one of the famous mistaken scenes in a movie in the background of Teen Wolf. There's like a dude with his pants unbuttoned.
Really?
Yeah. Look that one up. It's there.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've heard of these.
Why? But why?
It was just he was an extra, and apparently he was like hot or something like that. Yeah.
This is not how I pictured McCoy in this movie.
No, that is a very early '90s sweater, though, of Chuck.
Is it just me, or does it seem like Chuck couldn't really give a crap about being in the highly anticipated sequel to Delta Force?
Well, he's also like Chuck Norris is the third wheel in Delta Force 2. This guy and his wife in every scene, just hanging out.
Wow. Okay, well, not every movie
can be. I'm gonna make a guess at what's gonna happen here. I'm just guessing based on what I know of late 80s, early 90s cinema involving drug cartels.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm hoping by 1990, we're not going to see any Death Wish style of awfulness here.
So the original Punisher film with Thomas Jane was not a wonderful film by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a really good sort of throwback to like 80s style action movies. And I think that was basically intentional. But it was kind of the same, the source of revenge for the Punisher and all this sort of stuff. It's kind of similar kind of vibes. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah.
Well, he's a scumbag, but as far as fates go, it could have been Death Wish or Death Wish 2 or Death Wish 3.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Uh-oh.
Or Rambo Last Blood.
See, I originally, Eric, you mentioned, if I know my 80s, early 90s movies, I thought because the window was so huge that they were standing in front of in the kitchen, that bullets were just going to interrupt them out of nowhere and take them down that way.
Yeah, that's actually what I was expecting to happen, but apparently the budget didn't cover windows.
The window was absurdly large and white. And of course, as we know, and us wrestling folk know too. When you're gonna bleed, wear white so everyone can see it.
Yeah.
So and everything was it was so
take
white.
an aspirin. You think she took an aspirin before this?
No, they
scene?
hadn't even covered her up yet.
Did. Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
The cops are there and everything. It's just oh my god.
This movie's violent, but it's not as like they've toned down from the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's blood, right? But they got a lot more evil before this.
Yeah.
So
you think it was maybe because in once the
those,
gays came around.
What's that?
I was just thinking, you think maybe things got a little less crazy violent just because in the 70s there were no VHSs to sell after the fact. And maybe they just wanted to get some more bodies in the theaters, more butts in the seats.
Yeah. Come on, Chuck, call in the Delta Force.
That's it.
Was he in the first one?
Well, no, I don't think. Yeah. Well, remember the only guy that died was his friend from that he spent like a majority of the first half of the movie with.
Right, and they made a big deal about that when he died.
Yeah,
like the whole ending is actually bittersweet because they're celebrating, and then Chuck is, like, yeah, but we lost a brother.
Yeah,
this is a really well thought out movie.
Yeah, Delta Force is great. It was one of those movies where, especially for canon films, I think it was better than any right it had to be. The score was amazing, and I mean, it really had pretty decent action that even holds up today. I don't think I'd say this about this movie so far.
Oh, hey,
he knocks out his buddy. The hell?
It's a heel turn.
That was a swerve.
Why?
This crap.
Oh, is he just gonna go try to take him out? I bet.
Yeah, he's not turning evil. He's just like he knows Chuck Norris won't let him.
Gonna get Chuck out of the way.
So,
yeah,
there you go.
Well, there's better ways to go about doing that.
Yeah. You can always wait till he takes a nap or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to try to give your friend a concussion.
Yeah, maybe just wait till Chuck has to use the restroom and be like, all right, let me just duck out.
Lock him in there, yeah.
Just tell him you're going out for milk or something. Just like, oh, come on, horses.
Did you know the flu gets a Chuck Norris shot every year?
It's reversed, I get it, yeah.
My Chuck Norris jokes are landing as well as this movie is this time.
They just got taken away by some dudes. Who are those dudes?
Chuck Norris doesn't negotiate with terrorists. The terrorists negotiate with Chuck Norris.
Uh-oh. They're going to go take out the dude now?
Yeah. Oh, I hope someone commandeers a horse.
Not sure they had the budget for that, Bob.
No, you're probably right. I was really hoping for a Chuck Norris horse race.
That would be a good one. That'd be a good follow-up to the VW bus chase in the first Delta Force.
Oh, dear.
So going through the streets of Rio de Janeiro on horses.
That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
We won't listen to the naysayers, LOL.
Yeah. And forget any of this Indiana Jones 5 tuk-tuk stuff, right? We went through the streets, the tuk-tuk chase. We want horses. That's where it was at.
I haven't seen Dial of Destiny. Is it any good?
No. It's
not. No. You didn't wait a second. It's a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, no kidding. Is that what happens when you go to the doctor and get the reflex test? The little tap on the knee? Dial of Destiny sucked.
And if you like it, he hits you in the head with the hammer.
Uh-oh. They got Uzis.
It looks more like a scene from the A-Team than like a movie that's supposed to be the sequel to Delta Force. I'm sorry that this is your first exposure to the Delta Force cinematic universe, Bob.
Yeah, this is maybe that last movie was canon. Maybe they want this one to be non-canon.
Yeah.
It's funny. The first one was literally canon. Wasn't that a canon?
Yeah.
Canon picture? Yeah.
Yeah, Canon's going.
This would be more exciting if it was called Delta Airlines.
Now, Chuck has a beard in this one, but if you look at some of the posters for this movie, he's got a mustache. I wonder what's up with that. Like a lot of the promo posters is him with a mustache. It's like they went and
You're right.
yeah, they got a poster made up for it. I mean, there's the
It's like-
one with the beard.
I think I know what happened. I think Chuck saw it and just shaved the poster.
Is that Jackie Chan?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Kind of looks like him.
Oh, this
my
guy's
God.
a
Breaking
this guy.
Bad.
Oh,
The
Yeah.
bell ringer in Breaking Bad.
yeah.
Oh, you should have a bell there. Ding, ding, ding. I wonder if he got the job on Breaking Bad because of his stellar work in Delta Force 2.
Bryan Cranston was like, "Listen, we need a guy from the best of the best."
Have you seen Delta Force 2? Well, who hasn't? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Who could have saw that coming? That got the best of them. It's like a completely different, I mean, different movie in many ways, but the villains in the first movie are like real world terrorists. They're not evil, mustache twirling movie villains, but they're real life terrorist scumbags. This movie, this guy is Terry Silver. In
yeah, it's a little more of a caricature.
He totally is.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it too. Robert Forster as a I'm not sure if was he supposed to be Lebanese in that film? Something was he?
Yeah, right.
I mean that was actually pretty inspired casting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say the same about this film.
So Bob, it's kind of like going from Band of Brothers to this.
Yeah,
From like pretty realistic to this. I feel like this should be animated because it's so.
Jeez.
Watching Band of Brothers and then watching Combat with Vic Morrow, just a little bit of a step down.
I've never seen Band of Brothers.
Oh, that's a must see. Must
fantastic.
see. Yeah, and I would highly recommend reading the book as well.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Maybe in
is.
terms of wrestling, Bob, I can say
Yeah.
it's kind of like watching Flair Steamboat and
Yeah.
then watching Flair Big Show from ECW.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. When that series came out, I watched it all, then followed it up with reading a bunch of the books that those guys wrote. A lot of the Easy Company guys, like Shifty's War, and all those books that came out, going into more detail about the Easy Company. It's just fascinating.
All right, we're 35 minutes into this movie. Please call in the Delta Force.
Again, I say, is there going to be a Delta Force in this Delta Force movie?
Oh man, I hope so. Delta Force of 1. Delta Force of 1, 2.
Delta Force 2. Where is the Delta Force?
Search for Delta Force.
Makes you think of this thing a friend of mine said that if he ever had like millions of dollars to waste, he'd make some like incredible trailer for a movie, like in just top-notch special effects and all sorts of cast and everything.
Yeah.
And and then the movie would be somebody sitting on a couch watching the trailer over and over and over.
I can't say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
This seemed to be a theme in a
That
lot
was-
of.
That was throwing out some racial stereotype there.
Yeah.
It's weird to say, well, it was the 90s, because the 90s is like the progressive decade, but it still had some holdovers from the 80s.
Now, was it the 90s though? Because like, so Miami Vice was well and over by then. So like the whole, you know, Cuban and Colombian cartels and all that stuff coming in were kind of not really a thing anymore. You know, it's like the war on drugs was, you know, still around, I guess, but was the whole like Colombian cartel thing still a thing at this point? Because I mean, you know, in the movies in the 80s, it was all drug dealers and, you know, cocaine smugglers and all that sort of stuff. But I think this was well past when this movie came out, wasn't it? I mean, in terms of like something that was like a Hollywood trope.
I remember one of the later Death Wish 4, The Crackdown, 1987, and that's the one where, you know, the war on drugs. So it seemed to be a common thing to go from fighting scumbags on the streets to we got to do something about this drug problem.
Yeah.
Which, you know, in real life, yeah, absolutely, go for it. In a movie, it's better to have a villain, like an actual villain, than this whole idea of combating drugs.
Like last week, I did a comedy show as a benefit for a medicinal cocaine. We had lines out the door. You should have seen it. Okay, I'll do it.
Bob, I almost spit my coffee out when you said that.
Good show. Everywhere you sat was the nosebleed section. Okay, we could just do this all day.
Man,
jokes.
I know how you feel, buddy. I think we're all feeling what that guy in the chair is feeling. All right, here we go. 38 minutes into the movie.
Now we got a Delta Force, I think. Unless he's just kicking some guy's ass.
Well,
he's warming up.
He's just kicking the crap out of them. Now we have no more Delta Force.
He's annihilating the Delta Force to warm up. He's so angry. He's decimating his own team.
He's just breaking her arms.
Yeah, Chuck, we had a whole team for you, but you broke all their legs.
Step over toe hold.
There he goes.
Spinning toe
He's
hold.
going for the single crab there.
Yeah, single. I hate when they use wrestling moves in movies. Oh, stump puller.
Oh, he's even going with the hair. Sorry, this kind of makes Chuck look like a dick.
Yeah, he's a heel.
Whoa.
Like, what are they learning here?
Going for a wheelbarrow slam there.
It's just,
STF?
Yeah.
Oh, it's an STF almost.
Hair.
You know, it almost looks like a lot of martial arts is derived from wrestling moves.
They make it look that way. There's a head scissors, yeah.
Oh,
that was a move.
Ate that.
It's a neck breaker right there.
Yeah. Pile driver with his feet.
Okay. There's a snapmare wrong hand, but that's okay.
If this is what the Delta Force is getting, imagine what the bad guys are in for.
I don't know. Apparently, the bad guys got to fight Chuck Norris and 10 beat-up guys.
So what was the point? What was he doing in that scene? I'm actually kind of curious.
He was teaching them how to take an ass whooping. That's one of the worst beatings I've seen in any movie, and that was him beating on his team.
Wouldn't you have thought like a training montage? Like, remember the original Delta Force movie? It shows him like training, you know, boarding and boarding a plane and executing the hijackers and all that sort of stuff. That might have made more sense than him just standing around beating the crap out of a bunch of military men.
I think from a writer's standpoint, for the people like Bob who haven't seen the first one or haven't seen it in a while, they wanted to establish how dangerous and lethal he is, but there's no other opportunity to show it, so they decided just have him train on the recruits and make it seem like he's training them and making them better. I don't think anyone came out of that experience better.
Oh,
yeah. Delta Force 2, Major McCoy is angry.
McCoy, you're going in alone. The whole team is in the hospital.
They all went home on leave. They were honorably discharged. Thank you, Chuck Norris.
They've all refused to serve with you, Chuck.
Yeah.
It's just you.
Peterson might be ready in a week. The swelling is going down.
This is almost as good as the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes movie.
Is he yelling at him for beating up the Delta Force? What are you thinking?
Yeah. And will somebody for love of God, please get a plant in here?
Too much to ask for a window.
I know. That's another thing, too. It also
This guy's really excited.
It doesn't look like the room is very well lit either.
Mhm.
Like they're just dark in front of that printer that probably jams all the time.
There are pot lights in the ceiling, but they're not lit up.
I have to say, and I think a lot of people that are re-editing movies, things like Obi-Wan and stuff like that, have it wrong. I think a tremendously interesting challenge would be to take a movie like this, color grade it, work on restoring it and punching it up, and do some work here and there, add a couple effects, and see if you can salvage a good movie out of it. Oh, there we go.
Make it
Here's
look and feel more like the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, this is what it's about.
All right.
These are the guys. These are the guys who were either on leave or sick the day of the first training.
So, why was he kicking the heck out of the? Okay. And here it is again.
Back to this.
Well, that's okay. He's just dodging the guy. That's okay. But
his grandchildren won't be able to have children.
Roundhouse kick to the chin. Gotta be eating soup with a straw.
All or most kidding aside, Chuck was just impossibly fast. He's like Jet Li fast, Bruce Lee fast. I never remember him as being so lightning fast, having the great kicks and moves, but he is just sudden.
Okay, I guess he told me to take over. I guess I got to beat you guys up.
You feel better? Yeah, I beat up a bunch of more young men. The poor guy in the background, he's concussed. Oh, the two guys in the background lollygagging. Look at this play fighting they're doing compared to Chuck's style of training. Look at that.
Oh,
that's scary. That was an FU right there, or an attitude adjustment.
Yeah, that's right. That's all they did.
Give me another 48 hours and I'll have these guys completely in traction.
Yeah.
Chuck, it's getting harder to.
They will now.
Chuck, you're making it hard for us to go to colleges and try to recruit these guys.
Look, Chuck, the cargo plane can only hold about a dozen troops. Oh, don't worry, I'll weed them out. Might as well get a one-seater.
They didn't even have the dough for like a little bit of a smoke machine and a fan or something like that to look like there's actually atmosphere outside the plane.
Yeah. Man, I miss
higher contrast light and some. This looks like a work print. This doesn't even look like a finished film.
Yeah. At least it's film.
Yeah.
You would have thought they'd shoot it on video. Again, the completely unnecessary parachute.
Yeah. No motion there, like they're not on a plane or anything at all.
Yeah,
you didn't hear the sound.
I know.
Couldn't they have at least put in the sound of propellers outside or something?
Shouldn't they have to yell over each other or something?
Yeah.
Well, Chuck Norris fixed the sound barrier.
Yeah.
They broke it and he fixed it. Here we go.
He's going in alone. There's no Delta Force.
Oh my Lord. I'm sorry, guys. I
for a second I was like, okay, the other guys will be following him out of the plane, right? No, that's him.
They're all beat up.
Yeah, they all refuse to go.
Yeah, with friends like him. Who needs enemies? It's day. Okay.
Okay.
Is it
Yeah.
day or do they just
No
not
insert
know what
shot of the sun coming up or anything. It's just okay.
what in God's name is going on? It was night when he jumped out.
Yeah.
He was falling for a very long time.
Oh. Or he's been sitting in the tree for 6 hours.
That makes more sense, I guess.
All right, we got some genuine Metal Gear Solid action.
And
going.
somebody studying some editing could really do a number on this movie. Wow. They set up a whole village and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's some production value right there.
Got a donkey and everything.
I'll bet you a lot of money they're at this village for a long time.
Yeah.
Got to get all that use out of those sets.
He's going to teach something to the village kids. I don't know what, though.
I'm really hoping this isn't a case of, look, I'll do the movie, but you got me for a week. And so it was all like about, you know, the movies I'm talking about where it's like, how much movie can we film without him?
Right.
It's almost like an Outback solo mission. Lone Wolf McQuade was like a Snake Eyes movie. This is kind of like if G.I. Joe's Outback went on a solo mission.
Who's that guy? I'll have some deviled egg potato salad when I'm listening here.
Literally anything would make this better.
There's sounds of cooking in the background. This is in no way a reflection of the quality of this film.
I'm about to ask my wife to bring me some asparagus. That would make this better. Some Brussels sprouts would make this better.
Yeah. Anything?
This is a terrible movie. This is absolutely terrible.
Oh,
so the rope bridge.
Oh, the famous bridge.
Here's a little piece of trivia for you. I was looking around and I thought this actress was familiar and I couldn't place it. It's not actually who I was thinking of, but she is the voice of the nun in Red Dead Redemption, the game. This gal right here. Yeah.
Cool. Uh-oh.
Whoop.
That's okay. Chuck and weave that back together.
Huh.
Did he lose his shoe?
I thought for a second, but
piece of trivia from IMDb: the script was filmed. The script that was filmed was greatly pared down and smaller version of what was originally planned. Cash-strapped Canon Films could not afford the original draft, so they wanted to do something better and more in line with what the first movie was, but it's just the studio was cash-strapped.
Wait a minute, Mike. I gotta make sure I get this straight. Are you saying this film was done on a budget?
Yeah. Apparently not a very big one. You'd never know.
You mean they were trying to cut costs on this film? That's what you're saying.
Yeah. It's beginning to seem that way. I mean, I don't think there was even coffee in that guy's cup.
No.
They just told him to pretend.
Craft service was off that day. They only work Tuesdays and Thursdays.
They put water in there. Pretend it's coffee. Right? Do the scrunchy face, like, that's good coffee. That's good Java.
The extras walk over in the morning for bagels at the craft service table, and there's water and tea cakes.
Rice cakes with seasoned salt on them.
The extras walk over for bagels, and Chuck Norris beats them up for no reason.
I'm looking for a new team.
What?
Can I climb it? I am it, honey.
She doesn't seem very helpful.
Is that the same girl that was punched in the face and then her husband was killed?
I don't know, but here's a Chuck Norris fact for you. The Delta Force is in his backpack.
There you go. Maybe it's the same magical space displacement that the cash had in that guy's briefcase. It just kind of keeps coming.
Hey,
here's the Delta Force. Are they still nursing fractured skulls?
How much do you want to bet they all get killed?
Mike, don't you have one of those GI Joe scale versions of that C-111.
The cargo, yeah,
Yeah.
Real Heroes or True Heroes, something like
Yeah.
that. What are those knockoff?
Those are great.
They're always at Toys R Us to this day. You can still walk into a Toys R Us here in Canada and buy them for like 10 or 15 years, and they're great.
What is
They're
it?
cheap.
It's like C-130, right?
Yeah, they're cheap, and obviously not to scale, but they still hold a lot of figures.
Oh, she was the one. Okay. I was gonna say she didn't really seem. I guess she's getting the emotional range now.
She's waiting for a close up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Lockheed C-130 Hercules. That's what I was looking for.
Hope he doesn't offer her to be on his team. I don't want to see her get her ass kicked.
Yeah.
God's gonna sit this one out. To use the Punisher line.
That's like,
Is that all she did? She was just a guide for 2 minutes?
As if he needed a guide.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris does not get frostbite. Chuck Norris bites frost.
So we are how far in? We are 52 minutes, almost 53 minutes into this
52 godforsaken minutes into this film.
And all there have been were a couple of bad fist fights and one scene of a guy's wife and brother getting shot up.
Yeah. Oh, the guy got gassed too. That was an effect.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Gassed him.
Yeah.
And Chuck beating up the Delta Force.
So in Delta Force by now, I think they're in Beirut, and they'd already had the shootout in the car and yeah.
I think it's safe to say we won't be hearing the Delta Force theme in this movie either.
That's a bummer.
I might have to recut the trailer with the original Delta
That would
Force
be
theme.
cool. Recut the trailer, add in some explosions and stuff from other movies, and the music from Delta Force. Oh, you got to do that, man. That'd be great.
And of course, him beating the crap out of Delta Force.
Frame up some of the shots a little different, color grade them. That'd be awesome.
I guess it is similar to G.I. Joe in a way, because the Sarge beats the crap out of the Joes.
Oh my gosh, that's the idea. Grab some shots out of the G.I. Joe movies, like especially the second one, and plop them in here and make it a G.I. Joe movie. That's what we got to do.
so this came out in 1990. What else was going on in 1990 movie-wise? I think it was the first Turtles, second RoboCop, I want to say.
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands. I wonder what this was competing with.
I'm not sure it was competing with anything.
Yeah.
Here we go. If
Good
the
point.
snake bites him, it'll die after 5 excruciating days.
Free climbing.
That's right.
So just as a little cross-referencing, movies from 1990 included Edward Scissorhands, Goodfellas, Pretty Woman, Dance with Wolves, one of my personal favorite films, Misery, Total Recall, Jacob's Ladder, Wild at Heart, Miller's Crossing, Home Alone, Ghost, Back to the Future Part 3, Gremlins 2, Tremors, The Hunt for Red October, Godfather Part 3,
Wow.
Darkman, Die Hard 2, Dick Tracy, which was its own special kind of very interesting film. Awakenings, Days of Thunder, the Tom Cruise movie, RoboCop 2, like you said, Bob, Predator 2, Pump Up the Volume, which is actually another one of my favorite movies, Child's Play 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Arachnophobia, Kindergarten Cop. Yeah, this isn't up there. There's quite a few more pretty good films.
And we're watching Delta Force 2 of all those movies.
Some of those, like Kindergarten Cop, Edward Scissorhands, arguably the greatest films ever made.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
I love Gremlins 2. I'm a Gremlins
2
2 man.
good.
Yeah.
compared
I
to
agree.
this, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the village again.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, that's right. He helped the guy. That's why.
Toning down the violence again a little bit. You know, in the old days, they'd put the camera right in front of them, and the brains would fly right at the lens. And here they went for the long shot.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that they always use this? This director, who apparently is Aaron Norris, who I can only assume is
Chuck's brother.
Chuck's, yeah.
Yeah.
He keeps using the navel shot, where he keeps shooting the bad guys like as though the camera's looking up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
that wouldn't have broken his back or anything.
There's got to be a better way to do it. I can't drive up this other side or something.
This is just Chuck showing adversity.
Is it just Aaron doesn't know how to shoot his brother?
Has he done more than one movie?
They've worked together a few times, but it just seems to me like all the other older Chuck Norris movies I've watched, they knew how to make a star out of him.
Yeah.
And his brother just doesn't know how to. I don't know. Maybe he's just working with his brother. It's like it's just Chuck. You know?
Apparently he directed Sidekicks.
That was a good movie, but
yeah, with that Jonathan Landis, I think was in that, right?
Brandis.
Jonathan Brandis, that's right.
Yeah, that was a good movie, but it wasn't like a badass Chuck Norris movie like Lone Wolf McQuade or Invasion USA or Code of Silence.
Did a couple episodes of Walker, Texas Ranger. Yeah, he did Lone Wolf McQuade. Oh no, he was associate producer.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not really, more on the level of a TV show like Walker, Texas Ranger. Not really cinematic style of filming.
No, not really.
But I don't think availability would be an issue. I don't think Chuck would shortchange his brother or say, you've got me for a week. So scheduling isn't probably an issue.
Yeah. I mean, just look at the careful framing and composition that goes into these shots. I mean, there's nothing like taking a hard close-up on somebody and framing them right in the middle of the screen. That's filmmaking right there.
Did it just change to Mission Impossible 2? This is kind of impressive. This is actually him. That mountain is holding on to Chuck Norris there.
Some great potato salad.
Beautiful shot there. Give them enough time and they'll come up with one.
Yeah. It's like photography these days with, just snapping away with digital cameras. It's like sooner or later you're going to make a good picture by accident. I mean, I'm no Steven Spielberg, but I'm relatively confident I could have shot a movie that looked better than this. What was this thing's budget?
So the Delta Force has done nothing the whole movie except get beat up by their commander. What are they doing? They're just hanging out, hoping Chuck wins the day? Are they going to get called in if he needs help? Some music. This guy's doing his best Lee Marvin impression. Miss you, Lee. Oh man, this was totally supposed to be Lee Marvin. Who would have been a suitable Lee Marvin replacement in 1990? At this
That's a
point,
good
like,
one.
was
Lee
Papard?
Van Cleef, maybe?
Oh, that's a good one. If he was still alive.
Yeah.
Too bad Robert Forster was used and died in the first movie because he would have been a good one. Maybe just recast him.
Oh, I stand corrected. Lee Van Cleef died in 1989, so he would not have been better in this film.
No. I was thinking Papard.
Yeah. Oh, George Papard's. Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah.
He would have wanted the biggest gun. He died in 94, so Papard could have done it. He would have been really good in that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't, like, Chuck wouldn't care, you know, if Papard was walking around with an M60 on his shoulder, like, Chuck's like, I don't care. Right. I'm a karate guy.
You know, Lee Marvin would have been a good addition to your list of real guys that should have been Joes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a good one.
As the cowboy from Paint Your Wagon.
There you go.
Going up Paint Your Wagon. There we go. We're getting some action here.
Ooh, Charles Bronson. He was still doing films right now. He would have been a good replacement too.
Yeah. Paul Kersey. You know, rip that thing right off. Holy smokes.
There you go. I like the sound effect.
Yeah. Now they left out the shot where he sucks on the electrical conduit.
I just found a great one. And not that they could have actually gotten him. James Coburn would have been a great replacement.
Oh,
Steve Martin.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess when you're strapped for the budget, then you get who you can get. Like, Chuck probably worked at a discount price on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Not that he probably wasn't commanding what he used to command for this one, but
no, yeah.
I guess maybe as a favor to his brother. Pulling the patches off.
Oh.
So, yeah, this movie is well known for the unfortunate accident that happened that took the lives of 5
Oh, geez, yeah.
crew members.
Oh, is this? I wonder if this is one of the shots of the.
Yeah, it was a helicopter crash. Which Chuck just narrowly missed being on.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on it, and someone said, just go home, take it easy, and they'll shoot it with a stand-in. And, yeah, helicopter went down.
It died.
It's really too bad, like, joking about the lack of quality of the movie, but it's too bad that a better movie didn't come out of that.
Yeah.
Brandon Lee died during the making of The Crow, and not that any movie is worth dying for, but The Crow is a great tribute to Brandon Lee. It's a great movie to watch in his honor. It's not like you got to sit through and suffer through a horrible movie to watch Brandon Lee's best movie.
Yeah, that was really a shame. That was his breakout role. You know, it's something I just realized too. I was joking earlier about Combat with Vic Morrow, but he died in a helicopter crash on set as well on the Twilight Zone, the movie.
Yeah, that was brutal, and they captured that on tape too. Just horrible circumstance with that.
Yeah,
with the 2 kids involved with it too.
Mm-hmm.
The Delta Force is in action here. We're 1 hour.
Seeing some.
1 hour, 5 minutes into this movie, and we're getting glimpses of the first movie, echoes. It's more like this movie is haunted by the ghost of Delta Force One. Apparitions every hour or so of the previous greatness.
That's not good for that guy.
Flour? What are they cooking?
It's The empanada factory.
Huh.
It's a hell of a baking ingredient. I can just picture Picard quacking out his lines here. All right, boys, we're going in. Just basically dressed as Hannibal with the right down to the khaki shirt and the black leather gloves and the cigar. I don't care. I'm playing Hannibal.
What are you doing?
What's my name? Who cares? Just call me Colonel. Give me that M60. Shut up. What? The chopper has a big machine gun on it? Okay, I'll be right back. He comes back with a Is that in the movie?
Yeah. Bob, do you live next to the Indy 500?
You heard that?
I think that was a sound effect for the helicopter.
That was bad. There was some street traffic going on here. I have my headphones in too, but it's loud.
You know, Eric, you mentioned the cargo plane really not shaking or having any, clouds or anything going by. That dude standing there, manning the gun on the side of the helicopter. There's like no shake, no nothing, no movement. I'm wondering if like that helicopter crash happened early on or halfway through the movie and they just didn't care. Like it just took the heart out of the movie for them.
No. That's possible, I guess, yeah.
I mean, working on no budget with a tragedy.
Yeah. No, and you're competing with Gremlins 2.
And Back to the Future 3.
Future 3. RoboCop 2. Predator 2. All the sequels.
Yeah, it was a sequel year.
It was a sequel year.
And of course, was it the year after? Was it 91 the Terminator 2 came out, or was it 92?
This music kind of sounds like Super Nintendo music.
I want to say 91 for Terminator 2 because the Guns N' Roses, the Use Your Illusion albums were coming out at the same time, and You Could Be Mine was in Terminator 2. So I want to see if I'm right.
1991. You're right.
91. There we go. Oh, look at Bob go.
Yeah, what a jump it was from this movie to Terminator 2 1 year later.
Yeah,
but
I watched Terminator 2 like a month ago, and arguably the greatest film ever made.
Arguably. That's when you got the budget, though.
Oh, yeah.
And also the amazing acting talents of Edward Furlong.
Yeah.
Oh, and Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Linda Hamilton. Sure, they were great.
Yeah. And the T-1000, Robert
T-1000 guy, yeah. And the kid who played Sam in Different Strokes, he was in that.
Yeah, they weren't bad.
They were okay. You never saw that kid again. No one followed up on if that child was murdered. They just kind of went okie dokie then.
I feel like I've seen this mansion with the helipad in other movies.
I imagine there are probably a list of these kind of locations that are helpful for movie shooting on a budget.
It's Chuck's house.
Yeah.
Is he going to kick this thing open?
Better.
Now, why didn't they ever do that in War Games? The wrestling cage match.
Oh, I was going to say which war. Yeah.
Not the Matthew Broderick movie.
I was actually wondering about that. I was like, I don't remember espionage.
Wrestling game match. I mean, that looked like a really easy tool to just chop through film.
I can see Tully. Well,
Tully would have it in his tights.
I can see Tully doing it, yeah, and always in a tights.
Is it a good idea to blow up all that cocaine?
I don't know, you're going to get some really excited monkeys in the vicinity, I think.
Who are they rescuing here?
Yeah,
Do these guys matter?
Yeah, we weren't told who these folks are and why we should care yet.
This music is literally Super Nintendo music.
Is it? Oh, wow.
Oh, there we go. That's great. Good trick.
Yeah.
Colonel? I thought he was a major.
Colonel now.
Yeah, I guess we misheard. They must have been talking about someone, one of the other guys. But yeah, I guess with Lee Marvin's character passing away, McCoy got promoted to colonel.
So the bad guy in charge of babysitting those hostages sat right in front of that metal door. He just made the worst possible choice he could make.
Chuck doesn't need that fence cutting thing. He could just chew through it.
That's right.
Wonder if they'll show him flossing his teeth with the barbed wire. Wow. Is that really him?
I hope so.
It is. No, it's not.
Is it? No, that was definitely.
It's not. I was going to say
the gymnast double.
I was going to say he was getting a little older at this point, but he can still do pretty amazing things into his 80s.
He's looking pretty good. What was it? Bowflex was the one he was doing. Pedaling.
That's right.
Yeah, it's doing well for him. No, Total Gym. I one of those. Whatever one it was.
Who did Bowflex?
Doesn't have a silencer on the gun or anything.
No, because he looks at the gun and just goes, shh. That's all he needs to do.
He throws the bullets.
Yeah.
No, it would be epic as if there was one of Chuck's Total Gyms in his bedroom there in the background. Get some product placement in. What the heck was that statue?
I don't know.
And why was that an insert shot?
I don't know.
I hope all the products are. I hope there's a George Foreman grill in here somewhere.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that would one of these weird statues. I mean, epic, like movie prop collect thing kind of thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Hulk Hogan grill.
I hope so.
Look at the mullet on this guy.
And a stash.
Great.
Oh,
There you go.
I like that he waits so he isn't hitting him in the back of the head. That's good.
yeah.
Oh,
That guy
Chuck
waited
got him.
too.
Yeah.
Get what you give. This guy's supposed to be one of the tougher guys of the villains.
I also hope there's one of the machines that rewinds your VHS for you for people who didn't want to have their actual VCR do it. You remember those separate things you put? They should. A rich guy should have one of those.
Yeah. The VCR cassette, the cassette rewinder.
Because you couldn't wait 3 minutes. You had to rewind something while you watched something else.
Yeah.
This has to be a guy Chuck knows and called him up and said, "Do you want to be in Delta Force 2?"
Friends or some teacher at one of his buddies' dojos or something like that.
Guy he fought in a tournament or something, kind of like Chuck versus Bruce Lee in that one Bruce Lee movie, right?
Yeah.
He's telling, look, that movie did wonders for my career. Why don't you come into Delta Force 2? It'll skyrocket your career. Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh!
Chuck got a second wind.
I'll teach him.
There's no way that was sugar glass. They couldn't afford it. Now we go to school. Oh. Oh. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
It's going to make him stab himself. This Makes it almost all worth it.
Yeah.
This is almost as good as the ass whooping against Robert Forster in Delta Force. Almost. Not quite. It's getting there.
Well, it's something.
Well, it's sort of as good.
It's something, which the rest of the movie is not.
Yeah. The one with Robert Forster was so great just because it was so
dissecting him.
Well, it was blatantly one-sided. Yeah. You know, I mean, there was no contest.
Awesome.
I mean, Chuck kind of earned this. This is good.
Awesome. Oh, he goes back to the knife. Maybe I am outmatched. Yeah. You're still outmatched, buddy. You could have a bazooka. You're outmatched. He could be driving the rolling thunder. He'd be outmatched. Oh,
ooh, right to the kidneys.
So that's what my liver tastes like. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Oh,
awesome. Oh, that was it right there. On the, wait, is that Aztec or mine? I can't tell. On the statue.
Oh, slow clap.
Is he wearing a bathrobe? Is he in a shower? Is that the guy from that? Is that Tommy Wiseau?
No. Looks like it could be, though.
Same energy?
He's walking out of the room. Hi, doggy.
I don't after watching this movie.
He was sure fearing death when he was thrown out of the plane at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, that's a good point.
This is a great way to taunt your opponent. Put a gun up to your own head. Trucks are bad, okay. Oh, cheap shot. He can't be unconscious from that. You should totally shoot him and the bullet bounces off his skull. What do we have to lose at this point?
Yeah, make it memorable.
Well, they've tied him up.
You know, you have to feel for the cast of a movie like this sometimes because I'm sure they were sold this, like Delta Force 2. I mean, the first one was great, right?
Sure, yeah.
And you can only imagine that the director's giving them the direction. This is amazing. This movie's going to be incredible. This is going to be a blockbuster. And then the final product comes out, and you must be thinking, oh, my God.
Well, so much for that.
Yeah. Oh, there goes that idea.
Hopefully Gremlins 2 will be better. I got that in the can, too.
I'm always down for some Gremlins, too.
I can turn this off right now and put on Gremlins 2 if you guys want. Call a commentary audible. First ever commentary audible. Whoa.
Wow, that was some good practical effect right there.
There goes the budget. Whoa, they shot the pool.
Holy moly.
No one's safe. I've never seen a pool shot with a missile before of a helicopter.
Well, this is actually respectable.
This
I mean, if you were cutting a fake trailer, if you were cutting a new trailer for this film, you definitely have to put that in.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I've never seen like someone's house get bombed before.
What a stunt! Jumping through that
Norris
already
fact.
broken ground glass.
That was see-through titanium right there. What's the thing in Star Trek? Transparent
aluminum.
Aluminum. So he can jump through the window and shatter it, but he can't break the the ties.
They were made out of transparent aluminum.
I'm surprised he didn't just run the ties over the broken glass. Oh, he's
we all know
affected
that
by
Chuck
the
could have
gas.
just chewed those off. He was
Yeah.
just he was giving the other guy something to do. He needed to make him feel helpful.
He's choking on the gas. Holy smokes.
Shot the model of the plane.
All right, see, I told you this was a good movie.
Yeah.
Just be patient. 1 hour, 22 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
I knew it all.
Well, now at
along.
least we know where the budget went. I think here was probably about 9/10 of it right here.
Use that guy's butt as a bulletproof vest. I mean, yeah, I guess the Delta Force is there and helping. I was picturing something a little more on the ground and coordinated.
They showed up to break that chandelier.
Is it night now? Wasn't it day just a second ago?
Yeah, it's day again, if it helps.
Were they in a car park?
It's a lot better if you don't pay attention. I'm going to put Gremlins 2 on another TV. But this is night.
I'm watching Love Island on monitor 2 right now.
Oh, they were in a dark garage.
That's a good gate burst.
Yeah, the Ecto would be proud. Well, those are real blanks on the guns. Seeing muzzle flash on them. It's not just guys shaking rifles, pretending, making sounds with their mouths.
I'd be okay with that. There you go.
That's driving a limo right there.
Uzi.
The hallmark of any 80s movie villain, Uzi.
Or Snake Eyes. That's what made Snake Eyes so mysterious, because he was using the weapon of the bad guys, and he was all dressed in black. They're just like dumping blood on the bodies on the ground.
No.
I hope that's how much time is left in the movie.
Yeah.
This movie is 1 hour and 50 minutes long for some reason.
I was actually just looking at that, and I'm thinking, okay, this feels like the end of the movie to me, unless it's got like 15 minutes worth of credits.
Yeah, like 90 minutes would be perfect.
Yeah.
And especially for a movie on a budget, why would they drag it out to an hour and 50, almost 2 hours?
They probably had some contract with theaters that had to have a certain runtime or something. Yeah, we're gonna fit it in between the more popular movies, so it's got to be 2 hours and 20 minutes on the nose.
I think it was straight to video, though.
Yeah.
keep reusing that same sound effect of the squealing tires. It's well known to video editors.
Yeah.
It's like the Wilhelm scream whenever a video editor hears it, like, oh yeah, the squealing tires.
Huh.
Might have been used in the Razor Ramon theme, Bob.
Oh. I always wondered if the Razor Ramon squealing theme and the Mankind squealing tires were the same one.
I wonder if Chuck Norris kicks that guy in the helicopter, and that's why he's in a wheelchair in Breaking Bad. Might have been the helicopter.
Oh,
might have
there
been
we
used as
go.
Airwolf. This might just be all out action for the rest of the movie.
Isn't too bad.
That works. I mean, I heard the dialogue, so.
I love that Chuck is just in some car. it's just in like some sedan.
Well, it's a bulletproof limo. I mean, how drug cartel can you get, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
He's going into the forest. Holy.
Did they get their own Jeep?
No. One thing Aaron Norris is good at is shooting action.
Yeah, he's not too bad, right?
This is reminiscent of some of the better A-Team episodes. I love the shots to the passenger just going, oh no.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Crapping his pants all the way back.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no. Holy Lord. Should have been Norm Macdonald. Holy Lord. Can you drive any slower there? Chuck. I mean, McCoy. How many missiles does that helicopter have? He's got unlimited ammo.
Oh, he got it square. Okay, that looked like it did significantly more damage to that car than it did.
The smoke.
Now, I'm sure it will be difficult to believe for anyone that's listening to this, but I've kind of slightly lost the thread of exactly what's going on and why in this movie. Why are they trying to shoot? Why are they trying to kill their own dude? Is it because they can't have him escaping for something?
That's got to be it. Apologies to anyone listening to this, hoping for some good in-depth commentary, because we've just been trying to get through this by chatting amongst ourselves, and it's worked for an hour and 30 so far.
Well, you know, strangely, I actually looked up some
My
facts
wife was
of
laughing
this
at me, but
Yeah.
we'll get through this movie by any means necessary.
Yeah.
Damn it! Sorry, Eric.
So, well, strangely, I looked up facts for this movie, and believe it or not, there's not a whole lot out there other than the fact that this had a very low budget and was meant to be a lot bigger than a movie than it ended up being, which I'm sure is surprising to anybody that's seen this. I think the most interesting thing about it actually is the unfortunate helicopter crash.
Yeah, I took a look at the trivia page too, and there is just a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Or what
Jam.
else is hidden in the ground? A hidden what are those nuts that the squirrels bury? The green chestnut.
Yeah, yeah.
Walnut. A hidden walnut.
Well, it's surely not a trouble.
Good Lord.
Hey, they're back. They're back at the set. They're back at the village.
You were
set.
right. You're right.
They are getting some use out of this bad boy.
God, there's still almost a quarter of the movie to go.
Okay, now they're gonna galvanize the village against the cartel member guys that are coming in. Watch. Maybe that's what we need to do: is predict exactly where it's going.
This makes me realize how close the first movie was to being a terrible movie. If they just filled it with all of the unnecessary stuff this movie has at the beginning, Delta Force 1 would have just been a bore until the last half hour.
Well, this movie is so 100% by the numbers. I mean, let's just go ahead and you can tick all the boxes about it. Drug lords, the mustache twirling,
sleeveless
guy,
tack vest.
Yeah, sleeveless tack vest. The helicopters, blowing up the drug cartel mansion, fighting, and I mean, it's like literally, it's all there.
Ponytail drug cartel leader.
It's all there. The guy's family getting killed by the drug lords.
Yeah,
I mean, it's everything.
Friend killed brutally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This guy is about to die. The guy in charge of watching the bad guy,
rescuing hostages. Yeah.
Shooting without aiming.
Mm-hmm.
Do
you happen to notice that pistol was out of ammunition right there?
Empty. Yeah, he's just
the action was locked back.
That's the power of Chuck Norris.
Yeah, he doesn't need bullets.
He's spitting. Told you, he's spitting the bullets. He's throwing them. It's empty, but the gun the bullet's in the barrel, so he's literally just moving the gun forward, and the bullet is flying out of the barrel at light speed.
Yeah,
without the propulsion of gunpowder. Oh, he's got an
M16 now.
What's going on down there? Sounds like the movie's getting better.
Yeah,
I'm stuck.
Is there action happening? That wasn't supposed to happen.
We're almost out of missiles. We've used 90. We only have 17 left. Oh, that's the other chopper. They've got unlimited machine gun ammo. Every guy does like a little spin or a pirouette or a boogie when he gets shot. He does a little like electrocuted boogie.
Little spin. This little spin they do to hide the fact that they don't have any squibs.
That guy just jumped in the air. That's another trope you can check off the list. Jump in the air and shake when you get shot.
Well, if you look closely, I don't think there's any squibs. There's no bullets hitting those guys. It doesn't look
totally
like any bullets in those guys. Yeah,
that's what they would do on the A-Team. They would just jump and shake.
Just react.
Sell it.
I'm gonna have to watch the first Delta Force just to justify this.
I'm gonna have to watch the first one to forget this one.
Bob, I would go so far as to say the first Delta Force movie is not as disappointing.
Okay,
it's arguably the greatest movie ever made.
Well, okay, there's an argument.
That missile that just went by Chuck's head looked uncomfortably close. Must have just shot like a firework next to his head. You know what this movie really needs right now is a predator to come out of the jungle.
Yes.
What it really needs right now, Mike, is an ending.
Yeah.
But I do like the predator idea.
We're 15 minutes away. 15 more minutes.
It's what though, give it a little bit of credit where credit's due. It does have a pretty decent ending. I mean this sequence. I mean it's been going for 20 minutes. It's not bad. It's getting there. Yeah.
It will go.
There's a decent film in here. There's a decent film. If you spent some time in an editing bay, you could get something out of this.
Yeah. Deep fake Papard over top of the new commander.
You know what this film is? This film is one of those where they had to make feature length, and they couldn't leave anything out.
That's right.
That's what this is.
If this was a Netflix series, it'd be a 10 episode. You wouldn't have to cut any of it out. It would fill up 10 episodes. Yeah, a lot of filler in here.
Mm-hmm.
And like scenes totally unnecessary, like Chuck in a sweater. Unlimited ammo. Like, are they reloading the missile launcher up there, or does it just hold that many?
Just some guy, reaching out of the cabin of the helicopter, putting rockets back in the rocket pod.
Like it's something, but I just pictured the Delta Force on the ground and not just hanging out in a chopper shooting at everybody.
Yeah.
Because just any dude could be in the chopper. You don't need to have the crap beat out of you by Chuck Norris to man a machine gun on a chopper.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's all they can do after that training session.
None of them will get out.
You can't walk.
It's in our contracts. We can't be within 50 yards of Chuck Norris.
So he's trying to get this guy. He's trying to extract him.
He has his hands tied.
Well, I hope she gets a little revenge out of this deal. She needs to slap somebody around.
Yeah.
After husband and baby.
Good kick between the kick and the balls. Keep getting this sinking feeling the Delta Force is going to get completely wiped out. More friends to avenge. Uh-oh. He's up to no good. He's free.
Oh
no!
I didn't expect that, actually.
Oh, dude! Oh, scumbag! Well, he's really going to get a beating.
Yeah.
He just
Chuck, you're just 30 seconds too late, man.
He just kicked him into Delta Force 3. Fate worse than death.
Avenge me.
Well, it's kind of like the first movie where one of the team gets killed and it just casts a pall on the rest of the otherwise fun movie.
I hope he doesn't get attacked while he's checking on her, though.
That would be not a good thing.
It's like they suddenly realize they have to raise the stakes of the film or something. Uh-oh, there you go. Yeah. You called that one.
Yeah.
Well, Bob's seen a lot of wrestling.
That is wrestling 101, by the way.
Yeah. So's this.
Especially with your top baby face, only his compassion should be the...
I think we're about to see another one of those one-sided dissections.
Yeah.
This is going to harken back to the Robert Forster fight scene. He's doing the Terry Funk twitch. Rest in peace, Terry.
Don't kill him, Chuck. Just knock his teeth out.
No, he's going to hit him with the handle of a machete. Knock him out.
Give him a free ride somewhere.
That's got to be a shot from another movie or stock footage.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely stock footage.
Can't leave Colonel McCoy. I'm starting to understand why Chuck wasn't in the third one. I just feel like he had done everything there was to do in the Delta Force cinematic universe by this point.
I mean, even Chuck had standards, right?
If anyone gets to meet Chuck at a fan convention, if he does those, if you could ask him one question for me, ask him like, if he would ever return to the Delta Force cinematic universe. Drop a harness and a noose.
Yeah.
That's 3 times he's trying to get that catchphrase over.
Catchphrase, yeah. Always the hard way. That's the catchphrase for the tagline for this commentary. Always the hard way.
Oh, we're not.
Oh,
Yeah.
better dodge those. Oh. Good thing he's got the drug lord. They wouldn't risk hitting the drug lord. Not those villains. The other villains want to hit him, but not these villains. That guy's job in the movie is just to crap his pants at everything happening around him.
So that main white-haired general guy.
Whoa.
The main white-haired general guy hasn't sold anything. I think he's having the most fun of anyone in this.
Yeah. He's literally happy Lee Marvin is dead because it means he's in this.
Yeah.
He's the only person on the planet happy that Lee Marvin died. Oh.
Ooh.
Ow.
Oh.
No trees were harmed in the making of this movie except the ones Chuck Norris hit.
Yeah.
Kangaroo kick.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hope that wasn't Chuck's. It doesn't matter if it was Chuck's. He'd just fly up there.
Yeah.
Can anybody predict where this is going? Because I think I know where.
That is so obviously stock footage from like 20 years before this movie was made.
From the Nimitz from like 1948.
Yeah. It's like 16 color film.
Yeah.
Like you watch the 60s Batman, they always have that rocket. That's what was the name of that rocket? That doesn't matter right now.
It's going to be so satisfying watching Chuck stick this guy. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
The second time this movie. I don't think Chuck's going to help him this time.
Oh, look at how high up that helicopter was. Yeah. No way.
Yeah. It's like in the atmosphere.
There's like a ceiling for helicopters, if I'm not mistaken.
You're going to the moon.
Yeah, that's
He's going to be... Okay, so there's 10 minutes of credits left, I think. He's going to be falling that whole time.
That would be great ending. All
right, we made it.
Whoa.
That felt like a really tough mission.
My Lord.
I feel like the Delta Force did at the end of the first movie. What is this song?
Wow.
What better song close out the Delta Force 2?
Wow.
Than this?
Yeah.
Might be another Norris brother. Might be Hank Norris Jr. singing this one.
Jesus.
Oh boy.
Or what's Sylvester Stallone's brother that did the
Frank
music?
Stallone.
Yeah, Frank Stallone. That's it. Oh.
I don't know if I'm going to rewatch that.
No, I don't think I got enough time left in my life to revisit this.
You know, I'm not sure I'm going to bother with watching that one again either, to be honest with you. I can't say that it makes me disappointed that I never saw it before. Wow.
I saw it when it first came out, and now I realize how blessed I was that I couldn't remember 1 minute of it. I've watched this movie twice in my life, and that's 2 times too many.
Yeah, that may have been a coping mechanism, Mike.
My Lord.
Just curious.
Good God. You guys want to do Delta Force again?
Maybe.
Well, Bob hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I might have to, at the very least, put the soundtrack on for a little while just to get the taste of this one out of my mouth.
Yeah.
This lies somewhere on that spectrum between like maybe American Ninja and I don't know, something.
The halitosis.
Yeah.
And dung.
Spectrum would be the operative word for whoever put this together.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I'm falling asleep here. What am I doing here? I gotta sit up.
Well,
too cozy. Yeah.
To everyone who listened along while watching the Delta Force 2, hats off to you.
Yeah.
You are one of the few, the proud, the brave, who's been able to get through this movie.
That was something else.
We'll be back with something better next time, I promise.
Yeah. I mean, it counts as a film.
It is technically. I mean, look at all the people involved. It must be.
It meets the main requirements of what a movie is by definition. So
they had a head painter, armor.
Yeah. I think that's the best tagline for this film. It counts as a film. It counts as a film, says a dude.
Special effects, casting. These are all things movies have. Casting assistant, mechanic.
We filmed it. There was editing and effects, and we did the whole. Yeah, that's
production secretaries.
Typists.
Yeah, a movie like this, sometimes you have to wonder exactly what some of these people are doing. Wigwam. Apparently, there was craft service on this film.
They did shoot in the Philippines.
They shot in the Philippines. Interesting.
That's where some more of the budget went. And Tennessee.
Funny. Tennessee crew.
I mean,
where was Tennessee in this?
Probably the
entire end.
Some goofy street scenes or some boring room. Just some room with no paintings. Yeah.
Basketball scene.
Basketball. Okay, maybe there's some high school. They were cheerleading.
Armor.
Rio de Janeiro was really Tennessee somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that, Bob. The gaffer was Bob Good.
Oh, see, well, he was not a good Bob.
Bob Good was in a bad movie.
He's no Bob the Goon. That'll teach us.
Well,
head painter.
Despite what we just experienced, they really call it watching it. This is more something you experience. It happens to you.
I think the word is endured, Mike.
Do you think it's worth it for Chuck's part?
There were some moments. There were some moments. I'm not going to lie. There were some moments.
Okay. About 2 minutes worth. And quite a bit of good action at the end there.
Tell you what, this is one of the first things I've seen in a long time. I legit, it makes you really wonder what I could do if I edited a trailer out of this. It would be fun. That would be a fun thing to do. You
could chop this down to a 45-minute, really fun 80s, even though it's 1990, 80s guy movie, action guy movie.
Yeah.
But you would have to literally chop it in half.
Yeah, there's more filler in this than a hot dog. Yeah. Ooh, wow.
If someone wanted to watch it for just they were a big Chuck Norris fan, I would say, listen, go fast forward an hour, and you're going to get your Chuck Norris-y things in there, and then you're really okay.
Yep, that's a good one.
The Terry Silver knockoff, you don't need to. Don't worry about it.
Why stop at an hour? Hour and 25 minutes.
You can fast forward about an hour 45, maybe 2.
Wow.
Get to the part where the rope breaks. So the main baby face does not have to kill the guy.
Yeah.
Because he thought about it, but to get Chuck Norris out of the quandary, they go. And I don't know if you were thinking the same thing, Eric, but I remember you saying, I think how this ends. Yeah, I had a feeling that the guy who half cut the cord, that ultimately that's the main bad guy's undoing, and I was thinking that too. Yeah, like okay, it gives Chuck, as they say in wrestling, it gives the hero an out. Yeah, where he didn't have to be the one to pull the trigger, like Michael Keaton puts the grapple hook onto Joker's leg, and Joker doesn't really kill Joker, but he's actually just trying to grab on. He's trying to stop Joker from escaping. And Joker is the fool who somehow gets the rope tied to the gargoyle statue, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So it gives him an out.
Or Batman Begins. I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. Liam Neeson crashes in the train. And
of course, this whole thing's ruined, though, by Michael Keaton's 89 Batman 2 minutes before throwing a bad guy down an entire bell shaft of the church where he falls 8 stories. So that just erases that whole thing. We just ignore the fact that he totally killed that guy.
Yeah. Doesn't Chuck kill Robert Forster in the first movie?
Oh yeah.
So
he hits him with the grenade launcher on the motorcycle.
Yeah. So very definitively. So why try to avoid him sticking him like a pig in midair?
Yeah, that was or cutting his rope or something like that, or you know, just let me help you out. You know,
he should have been sticking him 72 times just in the air. The last 4 minutes of the movie is just Chuck sticking him.
And I bet 10 years prior, that's how it would have ended.
Yeah, probably.
They would have done that, but instead they go, because they already established the bad guy is sticking people like pigs. So Chuck wouldn't be, although I think Chuck cutting the guy's cord would not have been as big a deal.
No. I do love though that they cut to a shot when he falls, and it's showing him falling, and he's suddenly at 30,000 feet.
He's in orbit.
Yeah. You're like, wait a minute. I thought helicopters could only go up so far.
If they were just a little higher, he'd be floating. When the cord broke, he'd be in the stratosphere.
I've got to look this up and make sure I'm not wrong about this, but I believe helicopters have a very low flight ceiling, and it has to do with the pressure in the atmosphere.
I mean, unless it's Airwolf or a Cobra Mama.
Yeah.
I would.
So,
I've flown commercial. We've all flown commercial before. I never looked out the window and saw a helicopter going by.
No.
So, turbine engine helicopters can reach around 25,000 feet, which is actually surprising. Maximum height which a helicopter can hover is much lower, 10,400 feet. So, yeah, that looked significantly lower than that did, or higher rather than that was.
Yeah.
So yeah,
if it wasn't for that, perfect movie.
Yeah, I mean, let's be technical, right? Let's not split hairs here.
Let's not nitpick. All right, that's Delta Force 2. Don't expect a Delta Force 3 commentary on here ever.
I didn't know there was a Delta Force 3 till you guys just said something a minute ago.
Yeah,
apparently he didn't do it.
His son is in the third one. He felt like the story of Colonel McCoy has been told, and trying to fly off into the sunset / moon on the space chopper.
Yeah. Here you go, kid. Let's see if this one gets you some clout.
No, don't let me down. I've built this franchise up to mythic proportions, so you got a lot riding on your shoulders here. The Delta Force cinematic universe and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there it is.
There it is.
We did it. We did it.
That was a movie, and this was technically a commentary. So we've probably done a lot for the watchability of that movie, actually.
The requirements have been met.
I don't believe I've ever said this, but I would really not advise watching that movie without this commentary. I don't think it's it's not advisable. I think this is a necessity, what we just did here.
I would say undeniably more entertaining than the film itself. Sure.
I mean,
In fact, I dare say we should be contacting what's left of Canon Films and asking if they want this commentary on whatever future DVD or Blu-ray release of this film.
I might just send a message to Tubi and say it might be in your best interests to tack this commentary over top of your audio here. And I'm sure their response would be, "Why the hell were you watching Delta Force 2?"
Wait, we have Delta Force 2 on here?
Yeah. What?
How did that get there?
I don't even know.
They did another one? How is Lee Marvin in it? Oh. Let's not start with that.
Oh, teach us.
We'll do our own sequel called Force of Delta.
I'll teach.
We'll make it on $500 on a couple of weekends. It'll be better.
Give me $500 and I'll recut the movie. Thank you, Jen, so much.
Thank you, Double M.
I feel
Thank
like
you,
the
yeah.
boy, and I feel like you guys were my Delta Force who pulled my bacon out of the pan.
Yeah. Hey, watching Delta Force 2 together, that's bromance. You don't come back from that.
That's walking through the fires of hell. Right there.
I'll teach it. And this poor guy had to sit through it. He did
poor
okay.
guy.
He didn't give it. He couldn't care less. He's fine.
Oh,
He had a great time.
Well, Maggie's still curled up like a bagel right beside me, so she doesn't care either.
my dog is almost unconscious. He couldn't withstand the power of Delta Force 2. But
No one can withstand the power.
Eric, thanks so much, and Bob, thank you as well.
Thank you, buddy.
Bob, throw some plugs out there.
Time.
Good God.
I hear you got arguably some of the greatest T-shirts.
Arguably, we do have some of the greatest T-shirts at TeePublic. You can find your Bob Squad shirt. And hey, if you're in San Diego, look me up on Instagram. I'm on the at Bob Hansen Jokes. Stand-up comedy in San Diego. Toy movies, new old toy movies, play motions, Sun Bob's. Season 2, we're in Go To Motu. We're in and I'm loving every second. I'm just having so much fun doing a new season of He-Man for the dozens and dozens of people who enjoy them. I'm having a bunch of fun doing them. So find those things.
Check them out.
Enjoy.
I've worn 3 shirts today, and I just got my new Bob Squad T-shirt, and it is arguably the greatest shirt I've worn today.
Arguably the greatest shirt of all time. That's a tagline, right, Odes?
Thank you, guys, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, buddy. Good
Seriously,
chatting, Eric.
Yeah, all right. Good seeing you guys.
Everyone listening, seriously, thank you for listening. And I'm so sorry.
God bless.
God bless you if you watched Delta Force 2 because of me.
Yeah. And anyone that actually watched your check will be in the mail.
Yeah, that is above and beyond there. I am so sorry. All right, Nerdmas Day.
Nerdmas Day. Thanks,
Nerdmas
buddy.
Day.
Take care, guys.